Morning. So this is going to be a bit of a crazy video. Let me explain what I'm going to try and do in this video for you guys. I'm going to start off. I got really sick a couple of weeks ago when I was in bed. I couldn't get out of bed for like 4 days. It was a bacterial kind of infection thing. I've had it once before. Really strange. I actually think I got it from the ocean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start there. I'm going to show you. I had to have my lawn guy down at the beach house come over and cut the grass because I couldn't get out of bed. And then I went ahead and did the final cut. Then I put down some final treatments before we left. Then I came back to the main house and I'm going to show you the Bermuda lawn, which has had nothing done to it for 2 months. No water, no treatments, no anything, no prevention. It looks horrible. So I'm going to take you out. I'll show you that when I landed. I'll show you what it looks like. Then I'll take you out to the farm real quick. We'll talk about the farm project because that's the next step, big step in my life, is going to be redoing this farmhouse. We've already been working on the property. And then we'll start to scalp. I don't know if we'll do it in this video, but we're going to scalp down that whole Bermuda yard. We're going to take it down low and we're going to bring it back to health and do some diagnosis on it. That's what we're doing. It's going to be a little bit crazy. I'm just going to piece it together. Sorry about the content, but here we go. So why is Doc watching his yard being cut? To answer that question in a minute. Well, that's my lawn guy that normally does my lawn when we're not here. Steve. And I had to call him because I had kind of an emergency. I'll tell you about here in a minute. So if you don't know, so I'll talk about this later, but I've basically been in bed for 5 or 6 days with some kind of, 2 years ago I had the same thing, with some kind of bacterial infection or something up in my head and body. And it just feels like the flu, can't move, 104-degree fever, it's not COVID, been tested for flu, on a couple rounds of antibiotics, and I finally can move. And during this period we've had tons of rain and the grass hasn't been cut, so the grass got up to like 3.5 4 inches tall. So I called my grass guy and I had him come cut. I had him cut it down to about 2, and we're actually getting ready to leave here the end of this week, so I'm doing my final cut out here. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you the lawn because the lawn looks great. So, as you know, basically what I've been putting down is just dirt booster and green shocker. And I will put down now, I am going to put down some long-term PGF 1608 since I'm leaving and I won't be back here for at least 3 months because I've got the farmhouse project that I've got to be working on. But man, you got to see what these products can do in the middle of the summertime. Look at that. Someone else is cutting their grass. So I'm just going to cut this, I'll show it to you, and if I have the strength, I'm going to put out some long-term fertilizer. Oh man, I gotta keep hydrated out here. So one of the things that I'm doing out here, you know, I've had some problems with some of these areas, and I've done everything I could other than dig it up and replace the soil. So I ordered some compadre zoysia seed, and I said, Let me see if a different variety of zoysia might kick in. So I've got some compadre seed here, and on all these spots where it's just not, I mean, it doesn't even look like zoysia grass, it's just not taking. And I know there's not a huge amount of rubble. I'm gonna have to dig it up, but this is compadre zoysia. So I figured I'd just come out in any of these spots. What I'm doing is, if it's a little bit weak out here, I'm just throwing out some compadre zoysia, and I'm gonna see if it takes, because I've been working all summer to try and fix these weak spots out here. And I guess during the winter, our next trip down, or whenever, I'll have to dig that up and replace it if this doesn't work. But man, that's just gorgeous. So this is the time of year where, what do you got to be careful of? You got to be careful of fungus. This is hot. It's been raining every single day. We've been having thunderstorms. The grass is getting long. Lots of clippings. I'm not picking them up because I'm sick. But this would actually be a great time to put down some dirt booster. And the dirt booster, the good mycorrhizal fungi, that's what's going to battle the bad fungus. So if I can hydrate myself enough, feel better enough, I'm going to put out some dirt booster. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put out my first slow release PGF 1608, because this soil is high on phosphorus. I believe this is the only bag I have. I hope there's no plugs. I think it's open. Again, that's the best quality fertilizer you can get, period. All slow release, micros, iron, high iron, humic, everything. Wow, so I literally just got out of the truck and we walked out back. I'm tired. We just drove 4 hours home. And this is what I've got. This is what I came home to. Really tall over here. Got all kinds of burnout areas. All these spots here. What is that, grubs? I don't know. Look at this back. And that looks like grubs in here. Big yellowing spots down in here. What is that? I don't know. You tell me. Don't know what it is. Nasty, isn't it? So this is the former beautiful Bermuda lawn that we let go. 2 months, nothing's been done to it. I mean, it really hasn't even been cut. But look what happened while we were gone. A beautiful new pool liner. Oh my goodness, how nice is that? That is just absolutely gorgeous. So, of course I told the wife, I said, you unpack the truck, I'm gonna hop on the John Deere and I'm gonna start to knock this crap out because I can't stand to look at this. I went up, this is a true story. I went online, I went to Papa John's, I ordered 2 pizzas, I'm friggin' starving. And I said, I'm gonna go cut, and by the time I finish, in about 45 minutes to an hour or so, I'm gonna eat. But man, this is just disgusting back here. The front's not as bad, but you can just see these areas over here. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? All right, so the first weird thing that I found is this right here. See that? Water. That means I got a broken valve or something on my irrigation system. Watch it. Look at that. So I can't even water my grass until I get that fixed. So I either got to dig it up or I got to call my guy and have him come out here. Frustration. Well, it looks a little bit cleaner at least. So I went ahead and cut this with the John Deere, and then I put the bag system on it, and I picked up all the extra clippings. So the next thing I did was I shut off my irrigation system at the main water, and then I dug here, and as soon as I started digging I hit a crunch, which was a good sign because that means that I am actually on a valve, which means I have a leaky valve, which is not that hard of a fix. So Ryan's here, and I've actually been at the farm for several hours, and then I told him to meet me here because here's what we're going to do. This is the nasty, as you can see, the nasty yard that was formerly Augusta. Now it looks like St. Andrews. You see the golf tournament? St. Andrews looks so friggin' ugly, dude. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly scalp this down and scalp this down and scalp this down. I'm gonna have him grab the big True Cut so I don't put a whole bunch of wear and tear on the McLean's, and he's gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna run over it with the John Deere, or he'll run over it, and then we'll just keep doing this, and we'll take this down, and then the next step we'll also do the front, and we're gonna take this down basically down to nothing. One problem I have that I showed him is when I got home, I saw this big soaking wet spot, and I knew what it was. So I opened this up. Move that wheelbarrow that way so the sun hits it. There you go. So I opened this all up, and somewhere in here I've got a leak. So I'm going to have Ryan go turn on the system for a minute and see if I can be lucky enough just to replace this valve top or fix that somehow. We'll see where it's leaking. And then, so you kind of understand what we're doing here? Mm-hmm. Basically, we're just got to take down this whole yard. There's even the gardens. The gardens look like crap.
Everything's overgrown.
Everything's overgrown. It's been 2 months. I haven't been here in 2 months.
Don't put it on me.
No, and I told him, I told him, I said, just don't, we're not going to worry about this place too much. Just, you know, we shut off the irrigation system. We put no nutrients down here. We put no treatments. More than likely, this is either a fungus damage that is not repairing, or it's grubs. My feeling is that this is probably grub damage. So once we get this scalp down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go online and I'm going to order the double kill. We're going to treat the living hell out of this place with double kill. Then I'm going to come back and I'll probably put down some PGF balance and God, that's stupid Jack Russell. We're going to put down some PGF balance and some green shocker and some dirt booster, and we're just going to bring this back up right in the middle of heat. It's the end of July. It's a tough time to do it, but if I don't have water, I ain't doing crap. Man, that thing sounds grindy. So this is cut number 1, and here's what I'm going to have Ryan do. Might as well tell him while I'm telling you. Let's go ahead and let's cut the entire back. Be careful of that hole, obviously, you'll break your ankle. Let's cut the entire back, cut it down this low, and then once you get done, you can take a break. I'll get the John Deere, and then I'll run the John Deere over it, pick up these clippings, and then we'll come back and we'll cut it down one more time. Okay. So we're going to scalp it down basically to dirt. And then probably tomorrow, is it tomorrow afternoon or something, we'll do the front the same way. The whole lawn needs to go. But I can't repair until I have water. So, plus I gotta go in and order product. All right, so here we are. This is cut number 1. We've taken it down to, looks like 3/4 of an inch. Bunch of clippings all around. This is almost like a scalp, pre-season scalp or something. But so now what I'm gonna do, let me get the John Deere, and we're gonna pick up all these clippings. Then we're gonna cut it again. All right, so let me tell you the progression here. Man, there's a ton of dust out here. When I got home, the grass was like 3 inches. I cut it down to about 1.5 inches with the John Deere. Now we came out here, we cut it down to about 3/4 of an inch, and now we're gonna do our final scalp cut. So I ran the John Deere over it, but here is the final scalp. See this little line right here? That's the one that I want to take it down to. And so this height is like this right here. See it? That's like 1/4 of an inch. That's where I want to take it down to. So basically what I want to do is I want to take all this grass off, take it down to 1/4 of an inch, treat it for bugs, treat it for fungus, and then start bringing it back to health with water and food. That's all I'm going to do. We're going to do it to the back and we're going to do it to the front. Whew. Okay, so this has been going on since this morning. Cut, vacuum with the John Deere, cut, vacuum with the John Deere. We've got this down to about just over 1/4 of an inch now, I would say. Pretty much trying to take it down to just right about there. See that? That's what we want right there. We're going to start all over again. So we've got the yard all scalped down. The procedure for this, I need water, but we're going to spike aerate. We're going to put down bug killer, and we're going to put down fertilizer. And I'm probably going to put down PGF balance to start with. That's going to be number 1 because it's low on phosphorus. I'll hit it with some balance, and then we'll get it to grow back up, and we'll keep it at about 3/4 of an inch. It should be beautiful. All right, so we have got this back under control. I got to tell you, man, there's something about short Bermuda grass that just feels so good. When we came home, it was so depressing to see this lawn. It was just thick and nasty. But this is where I want it to be. I want it to be right about 1/4 of an inch. Now, you can do this in the summertime with warm season grasses. I do this all the time. I do summer scalps. Get it back under control. You know, your grass gets a little bit too long. So again, I'm going to spike aerate. Going to get the irrigation fixed. I'm going to put down PGF balance to start with. I'll put down some bug killer. I may put out some fungus. I don't know that I need it, but I'd really want to get to the point where I'm putting down green shocker and dirt booster here. And just pump it out and just pump it out and just get it here. So it'll be interesting for you guys to be able to see the progression of this, to see how this heals up and how quickly you can have a lawn recover like this. So anyways, hit subscribe and watch this crap. This should be interesting.